Hi, I'm Dr. Rene Hackney. Welcome to Week 2, Part 3 of 8 Weeks to Positive Discipline. In this segment, we're covering another proactive discipline technique, things that you want to kind of be thinking about all day long. This is the idea of giving descriptive praise. So often, when we comment on children's behaviors, it's just when the behaviors are bad. Let them share a toy, let them work it out, and we walk right by. We finish making lunch. Let them grab somebody or grab a toy. We drop what we're doing. We are all over them. We give it language, we give it attention. The message to the child over time is, wow, one negative thing I do gets more attention than 5 positives combined. You may mildly reinforce those negative behaviors just by the amount of attention they get. And so here, you want to catch the good behaviors. And when you do that, you want to use what's called descriptive praise. So descriptive praise is describe the behavior and label. You handed a block. You listened the first time. You kept your hands to yourself. That's describing the behavior, and that's the first part of descriptive praise. That's what directly reinforces the behavior. That is the thing you're saying gets your attention. And then give it a label. That was helpful, kind, smart, persistent, brave, friendly, cooperative, whatever it was. When you marry that together, you handed a block, that was helpful. You listened the first time, that was quick. You're shaping it immediate. You handed a block, that reinforces. And then when you're describing, that was helpful, kind, brave, smart, persistent. The child starts to think of themselves that way, and that's what reinforces in the long run. That's what also works toward getting that behavior. This is the praise they want you giving for academics. You wrote 5 whole sentences. That was a lot of work. And for athletics, you guys got the ball all the way down the field. You were really working together. Describe the behavior and label. Now, when we teach this with preschool teachers, we say, by all means, this is contagious. When preschool teacher says to Johnny at the front of the line, wow, Johnny, you're standing so nice in line with your hands by your side, half the line straightens right up, hands down by their side, because they want to be a part of that praise. It is fine to use it that way in a classroom, on a playground. It's actually against the parenting rules to use it that way between siblings. They really don't want you to praise one to curb their brother. They don't want you to say, wow, look how neatly you keep your room, and then glare at brother. You praise that child to curb their sibling, and that is a seed of sibling rivalry. And so the idea here is you want your intent to be clean. You're noticing something the child did, you're praising them for that thing they did because you want to give them that feedback, not to curb their sibling. There's also a warning with young, kind of 2 to 3-year-olds. If they're going through a phase where they're saying no all day long, or they're doing the opposite behaviors, this can backfire. When you say to a little 2.5-year-old who is at the height of saying no all day long, you are right in the kitchen where you belong. Living room, and off they run because it sparks maybe the opposite behavior. If that's happening, just put this one away for a while. 2-year-olds are supposed to go, 2.5, 3-year-olds supposed to go through a phase where they say no often, where they do the opposite of what you want. They're learning a sense of self versus others. They're learning to voice an opinion, and that's actually a really healthy stage, but this skill might not work very well during that. It can also be later. One of your parenting practice items is a child is sitting quietly eating a pleasant dinner. I've had so many parents go, I would not say a word, because they don't want it to fall to pieces. You can say it after dinner. You were using your manners, that was polite. You were sitting so nicely, that was such a pleasant dinner. That's the idea of this descriptive praise. In the research on praise, we've gone over descriptive. You handed a block, that was helpful. That's what you want to be doing as you're praising your children, especially for all their behaviors during the day. Describe the behavior, give it a label. You want to be doing this often. There's also this whole other category of praise that the people in the research want you to avoid. It's called evaluative praise, and it sounds like this. Good job, you're such a good boy. That was so great. Thank you so much. I really like that. I am so proud of you. This cheerleader kind of praise. One reason they want you to avoid is it's often vague. Child does a series of behaviors and you say, good job, and they don't know what behavior you're talking about. It doesn't get that you handed a block. It doesn't build that immediate motivation toward the behavior. It also tends to focus on the outcome. Let's say child practices a piano song all week and then plays you this song. Evaluative, what a pretty song, I like that. You're talking about 2 minutes of performance. The folks who research on motivation say you need to talk about the week of effort. What went into, you worked on that song all week. Process, you learned every note. Progress, you knew it better this week than last. Their effort, their process, their progress, that's descriptive. Evaluative praise also tends to label things as good. Good job, you're a good boy. When kids hear a lot of that, they start to become a little reliant. I'll hear it every once in a while at the preschool. I'll be walking through and I'm like, look at how many colors you used on that painting. And they're like, do you like it? Is it good? They're looking for that feedback, that stamp of approval. And so the idea is the more you can be descriptive, the less they're pressed for that feedback. It also tends to give ownership to caregiver. I really like that. Thank you so much. I like the way you. The idea here is you're encouraging children to do the right behavior because someone will notice. I want kids doing the right behavior just because it's the right thing to do. Do the right thing even when no one is looking. Descriptive praise is what gets you on that path. So here, the homework is very often giving the descriptive praise throughout the day. If you've got 2 kids and you're home all day, maybe once per hour per kid, so 20 times a day, you handed a block, that was helpful. You listened the first time, that was quick. You're describing behavior and giving them those labels. You want to avoid the evaluative, the good job, way to go, you're so great. Now, if you're that evaluative parent, let's say all day long, you say, good job, good job, good job. Follow that up with what got the comment. Good job, you handed a block. Good job, you listened the first time. You will eventually want to put that behavior first, but it's okay to start at that point if that's where you are. So let's try the parent practice. Your child helps you pick up the blocks. You asked her to put the container on the shelf. She does so right away. You picked up the blocks. That was helpful. You got them on the shelf. That was so fast. Child is eating a pleasant dinner, talking quietly. I think I just gave you this one. You were using your manners. That was polite. You were using an inside voice. What a pleasant dinner. Your child is playing with a toy another child is waiting for. Your child remembers to give a turn. You remembered they were waiting. That was so kind. That's the idea of this. You're describing the behavior, giving it a label. It's descriptive praise, and it tends to really encourage behaviors to happen. Thank you.